Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here tonight. We're talking about the upcoming Daniel Cormier versus Brock Lesnar fight that is going to be taking place in November. This, of course, is going to be coming down from Madison Square Garden, the same place that WWE is running a house show tonight, going up against UFC 226. This is going to be a big deal. Of course, the first thing that, as a wrestling fan, I would think about is if, Brock Lesnar is going back into UFC, why did they not take the championship off him at SummerSlam? Why did they not take the championship off of him at the World's Greatest Royal Rumble? Why didn't they book him for Money in the Bank? Why not put him on SummerSlam? They have to have a plan for something. It doesn't really make sense to stretch this out. The word came out basically just about an hour ago as everything was breaking that Brock was at UFC 226. Many people had thought the word on the street is that Brock was going to be fighting against Jon Jones in one of these big super fights, where basically they throw all the rules out the window and UFC just collects cash by everybody ordering the fight to see just two guys go out there who are two of the biggest names that UFC's ever had, fight for them. Kind of like the same thing that Bellator does. We're taking the older names and just putting them out there. I guess UFC is going to be moving on from the Jon Jones fight, seeing how Jon Jones is under suspension. They more than likely want to get a big house for the Madison Square Garden show because of the fact they're in Madison Square Garden. They're in New York. They're able to charge a larger ticket price for it. My first thing out of the gate is that even though Brock Lesnar has not fought in UFC, I believe, in 2 years, and the gap between that fight and the fight before that is even longer, is that Brock is, he's not fighting the right fight. It just doesn't make sense. He went in, he did defeat Mark Hunt, but then word came out that he failed his pre-fight as well as his post-fight drug test. I believe that he was using some sort of steroid at the time, and that's understandable to be able to get the body in complete 110% shape on short notice to be going in for the fight. Brock was sort of a last-minute deal, but of course, as everybody remembers, with UFC 200 fell apart was I believe some sort of drug charges with Jon Jones, and then we had also Conor McGregor, trying to hold up UFC to get a larger stake of money, and they just basically moved on and found something else that they built as the main event. A lot of people were saying that UFC knew that Brock had failed the drug test but didn't want to pull the fight. It was being billed as the main event of the show until the day of, as pretty much everybody woke up. Word was spreading that the girl fight, woman fight, was going to be closing the show. We'll have to see. I mean, honestly, the first thing that comes to my mind is that, Brock hasn't fought in a while, but when I see Brock standing next to Daniel Cormier, in my mind, I think Brock is just going to tower over him. I don't see Brock not winning this fight, but Daniel Cormier has gone out there and he's beat guys like Jon Jones. He won the Miocic fight tonight that many people thought that he didn't have a chance to win. So this is going to be kind of crazy to see what happens here. It should be good. It's going to be in November, Madison Square Garden. We'll talk about it as we get closer. Peace out, and I'll see you guys down the road.